everyone. Just wanted to give an update on my end of the summer tub season. Yesterday, the weather turned, which it sometimes does at this time of year. I was hoping I'd have maybe one more week or two, but usually around Halloween is when the weather turns. And so the weather took a turn yesterday, and when I went outside, the tubs were in the mid-50s, which is very, very cold for guppies. And so I decided to go ahead and bring the guppies in, and it was a lot of work. I had 2 tubs, and I wanted to keep them a little bit separate, and so it was a lot of work. But I got a lot of fish, and it's kind of exciting. So in this kind of critter keeper, well, this is kind of the whole setup for right now temporarily. In this critter keeper are the blondes from some crosses I made, and the nicest looking males, the last of the nicest looking males that I'm pulling in. And then I'll show you some more of the males in my 1 10-gallon tank here in just a little bit. But they're looking good. They've got some really good color on them. They're coloring up nicely. And I'm really excited to have them and to use them for breeding, now this fall and through the winter. So that's very exciting. So just got some really kind of nice colors and getting some good light today. And I definitely still have some males that are still coloring up, and obviously there's fries, so they're going to be growing out too. But just to have some of the males that are kind of coloring up or colored up already, and they're looking really good. In this pretzel jar tub thing, it's from a big jug of pretzels that my husband got from Costco, which I'm glad I kept now because I'm making good use of them for temporary, are all of the gray-bodied guppies from the crosses that I did. And I had kind of figured that if I was going to be pulling them out, I might as well kind of separate them out a little bit. And so I've got some adult females in there, lots of fries still, needing to grow out. And there are some males in there still that either haven't colored up yet or aren't mature enough yet. And so that's those. And then in this, another pretzel jar, plastic pretzel jar thing from pretzels from Costco, is some blonde guppies from Tub Pond 1. And I just was keeping them separate for right now, just to kind of see how they grow out and see what happens with those. Just some of my older genetics are in there, so I just wanted to make sure that they were going to kind of pan out and do well and mature well and look good. So just kind of keeping them separate for right now. And back to these guys a little, because they're pretty. Not all of these males will be used for breeding, but I'm really glad to have some nice choices for some breeding males. And then the base of my fall breeding program is going to be the blonde females in here. They're from some crosses I did, so they have genetics that I want to keep within my mutt guppies. They're mutts, but they're kind of specifically chosen to have specific genetics in there. Which is what I really want for my mutt guppies, so they don't become muddy colored messes. I'm at this point breeding for color. I know I'm probably not gonna get the size that a lot of other breeders might get with lots of water changes and things like that, with dealing with chronic illness and health issues. I'm just not doing water changes, I guess as often as is technically recommended, though my water parameters always stay, healthy and beneficial for them. So my focus is on color, and I just want to breed nicely colored guppies that are hardy and live well. I'm going to pause this here for just a moment and get over to my 10-gallon that currently houses the rest of my mutts. And I'll show you some of the other males that I got from this summer tub experiment, and that I'll be using for breeding this fall. So hold on one second and I'll be right back. And here we've got the rest of my mutt guppies, and also my male grow outs for my gold blonde Japan blue double swordtails. So the gold blonde Japan blue double swordtails that you see in here are pure strain, and they're in this tank for grow out so that I can kind of keep this breeding colony to specific breeders and grow out, and then I can choose the males that I want to breed from here. And then the only other fish in here that I haven't bred is this gray-bodied lower sword tail. He came with a package of pairs from Peter over at Mob Guppy. But everything else in here I have bred and are from my genetics. And so I've got some really interesting fish that are coming up. I'm really excited to work with them. I've got this, if I can get him in focus here. Oh no, focus. Oh, well, I'm trying. I've got this really nice Japan blue cross male, and then I've also got several Japan blue panda cross males that I think are just absolutely gorgeous, and I've been kind of calling them my velvet blues because that's kind of what they make me think of. I've got a Micariff yellow male in here that popped back up. I had some Micariff yellows breeding last year and put them in with the mutts, and so he's in there, and that's very exciting. The lower swordtail males are from some of the crosses I made with lower swordtail females and some of my males earlier in the season. And I've got some other males that are showing some yellow. I still have my pink pingu male, which I'm hoping to see that trait kind of pop up a little bit more. I've got a really beautiful Japan blue magenta cross male in here, and I've got one of my favorite males, which is a magenta male. I think he's towards the back right now. But he's in, oh, nope, there he is, dead center screen with the bright orangey pink tail and the lavender body. He's one of my favorites. And so most of these males that are not the Japan blue double swordtails are males I'm going to be using for breeding this fall. I'm probably going to also use the blonde females that are in here for breeding, and I may choose one or two of the gray-bodied females that are pingu type or panda type looking, but I'm more drawn to working with blonde-bodied guppies than gray-bodied guppies. It's just a personal preference, and so I'm kind of trying to shift most of my colors towards blonde base body color as opposed to gray base body color. So that's kind of my project for this next phase of working with my mutt guppies, is to work towards bringing them towards blonde bodied and maintaining lots of different colors and phenotypes and genotypes. And so I'm really looking forward to this. I'm really enjoying what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a lot of really nice coloring, and I hope to kind of move that forward over the next few months and just kind of see what happens. Kind of got a neat yellow, couple of neat yellow looking males. They're not the Micariff type like that one male is, but I'm sure they've got some Micariff in them because that's the only yellow that I have. But I'm just really happy with how things are moving forward and what these guys are looking like. And I'm just really looking forward to working with these guys over the next few months and seeing what comes up and how things turn out. So definitely going to be working towards raising, more of the fry, getting them grown out, and kind of moving on to the next generation, growing out the fry that I've got right now and just working on moving forward with that. But really happy, looking good. And then I'm really excited to move forward with my other two strains. The Gold Blonde Japan Blues are looking really good. They're doing great. I actually just got a new batch of fry from them today. I got 8 fry that were born in the main tank that I moved to the breeder box. and so that's great. The plant cover is starting to work. They didn't manage to gobble them all up. And then my blonde lower swordtails are looking amazing, and I'm starting to get some fry growth, and so I'm probably going to be moving on from these adults to really work towards growing out the fry and moving on to the next generation with these guys as well. I've got a batch of about 12 to 15 in the breeder box right now that are growing out, and lots of juveniles growing out. And so just going to be working towards moving these guys forward as well. So I just wanted to give you an update on my end of my summer tubbing season. It was a lot of work. And I yesterday I switched out one of my tubs because the tub was getting old, and the UV here is so strong that I didn't want to risk it cracking in the winter, so I switched it out, and I'll show you some of that later. We've actually got wildfires in our area. We're totally safe. We're not in any danger, but it smells like fire outside, and we're getting actually a lot of ash fall. So I covered the tubs with some plastic tarping yesterday because I had to actually clean off quite a bunch of ash fall off the top that was floating on the top of the tubs. And so that can really alter your water chemistry, and it's, not so great for the fish. And so I still have one tub has my gold white cloud mountain minnows, and the other tub has my silver or platinum Medaka rice fish. And so I didn't want to risk them having any problems, and so I covered them with some plastic tarping just until the air quality clears up a little bit and improves and is a little bit safer for them. So, but they're doing good, and these guys are doing good, and I had what I consider to be a very successful summer tubbing season. So thanks so much for watching. This is kind of a long one, but I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.